Welcome back to another video, guys. I'm Robbie.
I'm Jye.
And Maze Runner The Death Cure has been released this week, so we're going back and looking at the first two installments in the trilogy, starting off with The Maze Runner. Hope you guys enjoy.
Day one, Greenie. Rise and shine.
What is this place?
Can you tell me your name?
I can't remember anything.
The Maze Runner was directed by Wes Ball and it stars Dylan O'Brien, Kaya Scodelario, Thomas Brodie-Sangster, Will Poulter, and Patricia Clarkson.
Now this is a bit of a hard film to explain without ruining the twist in it, but pretty much it all kicks off when the main character Thomas wakes up in a dystopian maze type area
amongst a community of boys, teenagers.
That's right, without his memory, and they soon figure out they have to work together to try and escape this maze.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
We will talk spoilers at the end, but for now I'll keep it spoiler free. So, I mean, after the success of the Hunger Games, there was so many young adult movies that came out. A lot of them not that good. This one would be one of the ones that stood out as one of the ones that was actually a surprising good time with the movies.
Mm-hmm.
I love this movie.
So
I actually, as a whole, now I've seen the second one as well, hoping the third one stands up to it as well, but as a whole so far, I prefer the Maze Runner to the Hunger Games films.
Yeah, so, the first Maze Runner for me, excellent. Loved it.
We'll get into the second one for the next review.
I definitely prefer the first. I think the first Maze Runner film is better than all of the Hunger Games films.
Definitely.
I mean, if we're comparing the two, only because they're young adult franchises.
For that kind of film, yeah.
But yeah, I think the Maze Runner succeeded for me in every area that the Hunger Games kind of fell flat.
Yeah.
And the entire mystery of the Maze Runner reminded me a lot of something I would see on, say, Lost or another science fiction show like that.
It actually feels very J.J. Abrams at times, like kind of just guessing what's going to happen next. And it's got drama, thriller. It's very much a thriller at times. Some bits are really edgy as seed moments.
Of course.
Tons of action. The action in this movie is riveting. And it's actually got some really nice comedic moments in it as well, which I did not expect. The whole film was just very unexpected, and I loved it. I went in knowing not much about it. I hadn't read the book. Have you read the book?
I have not.
I
still haven't. Have you read it now?
No, I've got them. I just never read them. I want to. And so I don't know how faithful it is to the novel.
Exactly.
But from what I've heard from friends who have read the book is that, like a lot of adaptations, it does deviate a few times, but it captures the essence of the novel, which I think is the best kind of adaptation. You can't do a straight scene-by-scene remake of what's in the book. You can only just take the memorable bits and adapt it for film, because there's no way you can take 600 plus pages and put it into 2 hours.
Of course.
And the great thing about this series, unlike other ones, is that there's no splitting books in this one. Each book gets one movie, and it tells its beginning, middle, and end very well.
Yeah, as I said before, the thing that this really worked for me with this is the mystery. I like that we only find out as the characters find out.
Mainly Thomas.
Of course,
He's kind of like our way into this whole scenario.
He is us as the audience, like we're being plonked into this world
with him. Like the film kicks off straight with us seeing him waking up as the film starts, and him just being thrown into the situation as we're thrown into it. So we discover as he discovers, and it's really, really well done.
And then, like you said, the parts where they enter the maze and try to escape, that is genuinely thrilling. You're really rooting for them to.
We won't say what they are for those who haven't seen it. We will talk about them more in the spoiler section. But there's threats in the maze which are generally horrifying at times. I find, and I think that's one thing that's done very well in the film is that, I mean, it's very well written, but the use of camera and lighting creates this atmosphere that is so well done. Like in the center bit where they are, like the glade they call it.
Yep.
It does feel peaceful at times, which is meant to. But when they get into the maze, you get this intense claustrophobic feeling, and nothing feels like a set. It all feels like it's genuinely there. And you see some movies when it's a corridor and the corridor goes around the corner, and you be like, okay, that's clearly the end of the set there. Like you feel like this maze is just an expansive, never ending, just twisted, massive structure.
Yep.
And it feels just huge. That's nothing that's done very well in the film is scale. Like the things that are meant to look big in this film. Because I find there's some films like this where scale isn't done very well. Like it's meant to look big, but you don't get that sense of just wow.
And another thing the film does right is the sense of hopelessness that the characters have. You feel as well.
Yeah.
And it's definitely present throughout the whole.
You feel like everyone is generally in peril.
Yeah.
Unlike a lot of other young adult films where they're clearly going to make it out of the situation. Here, you actually don't know who's going to make it out alive. And there's a few twists and turns with certain characters' storylines. Like, wow, okay, they actually went there.
Yeah.
That was kind of like out of left field, but they did it.
And the other thing that's good is the parts of the film take on more of a Lord of the Flies type scenario.
At times, which very much does, yeah.
And that kind of thing would happen. Like there would be a power struggle.
Yeah.
Which is also good.
And they do play with the whole hierarchy amongst the teenagers who live there.
Yeah.
Wes Ball, from memory, he hadn't really directed anything big before then, but wow, I mean, you cannot tell. It feels like it's been made by a seasoned feature film director.
Yeah, and as you said, it did. Yeah, I guess when I said it felt like Lost. Yeah, it does feel very J.J. Abramsy.
Yeah.
In the way it reveals things, maybe even like it has that Damon Lindelof kind of feel to it. I got the same feel from Prometheus. I could tell that was written by Damon Lindelof.
Yeah.
So
sometimes he writes himself into corners that you just can't get out of. But but in the Maze Runner, it works. The screenwriters did a very, very good job. I mean, obviously it's based on the book, and the book, from what I heard, is great.
And the ending of the film just makes you want to
see the next one straight away.
Exactly.
But it gives you enough closure that you feel satisfied with this first chapter. Like, it doesn't just leave you just with nothing. Like
it does in a way, but also it doesn't. I know exactly.
But it does answer certain questions, while bringing up brand new ones in the final few minutes. You're like, okay, now what?
Yeah.
And the other thing I've got to really note is the sound effects. They were amazing, like really, really well done. Just the movement of the maze in the background, and especially when they're in the maze, you can hear it changing in the background and things like that. And you just it feels like it's constantly moving. There's always stuff happening. Let's jump into spoilers now, because there's not much else we can talk about without doing that. So the main threat in the maze are the Grievers. These kind of biomechanical, weird monster things, which are created by Wicked, who are the company that have trapped the kids here. When I first saw them, I was like, what the hell is that? And then the second there's that first attack with Thomas, that I was like, yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah. It's... Yeah, once again, the shock of seeing them for the first time really works. It really does work. And there's certain things in the Hunger Games, once again I'm comparing the two because they're franchises, but you see things happen in the Hunger Games, and there were times where I thought, okay, this isn't really working. The threats here work in the maze.
Definitely.
100%, and yeah, pretty much.
What I love about Dylan O'Brien is he really launches himself into every scene he does. In particular, the action scenes, like he just goes for it.
Well, I think filming the new one, he injured himself. Did he injure himself
very,
on set?
Very badly. Yeah, they had to hold production. But yeah, he like when he's running, you feel like the desperation in him as he's trying to escape whatever he's escaping. And I think for me, the most memorable scene is when they're in section 7, about halfway through, and the whole maze rearrange as they're trying to escape, and the maze like collapsing around them.
Oh yeah.
That was one of the most nail-biting scenes I've seen in a long time. And they're trying to get out of the things like coming down, and you feel like that tightness just coming in on them. Yeah. And then, okay, so the ending.
Yeah. Okay. So what I was meaning before is, so like Okay, they get out. Is what
they do, which I didn't expect. I thought the whole trilogy was going to be in the maze.
So did I. So we'll get into it more in the second review. But so you get the closure of yes, they have escaped, and then at the end you get the big thing that sets up the second film.
Yeah.
And what are your thoughts? Do you think that was a good way to end the?
I liked it.
I liked it as well.
I liked it very much. One bit talking about how they changed certain bits. Apparently, in the book, I might be wrong, but from what I heard, Gally, who was Will Poulter, he does not die in the novel.
Okay.
At least at that stage, from what I heard. Because in the movie, he gets killed by I can't remember if it's Newt or Mino, but one that kills him. He's poisoned. Yeah.
So he was meant to be in it further.
I'm pretty sure I read that he's meant to move on, whether he survives or not. I don't know, but at least up to that point, I'm pretty sure he did not. Because that was one of the big things. Was that, oh wow, they killed Gally. Why are they going to go with that?
Okay.
But I think it worked very well at that moment. I don't know what was supposed to happen afterwards in the books, but for the movie, I thought it worked very well.
And it was, well, I thought out of left field anyway. It was very shocking. I didn't really.
The whole bit with Chuck, that was heartbreaking. I did have a little, halfway through when he shows a little sculpture he makes for his parents, I was like, oh god, they're setting up something that's going to be sad. I didn't expect it to be that happening though.
Of course.
And Patricia Clarkson has a very small role in it as, I guess you can call it the main villain of the series.
Yeah.
She's that kind of villain, she's kind of like, she's not doing villainous things for the sake of being a villain. She thinks she's actually doing something that's helping the greater good.
Yeah.
But you do get the sinister, kind of like Dr. Evil vibe of her at times.
Yeah. Not as hammy as Dr. Evil.
No.
But yeah, I agree. And I think for what she's doing, she works. Her character works.
It works very well. And you do understand where she's coming from. I don't agree with her actions.
Definitely not.
But I think that's some of the best villains, is that you can still sympathise with them. You understand their, why they're doing these things.
They think they are the good guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she thinks she's generally doing something for the greater good. And every time, especially in the sequel, which we'll get into, when Thomas keeps, going up against her, it really plays against, you're like, well, maybe Thomas isn't 100% correct. For us, like, it's justified, yeah, he is, because what she's doing is just wrong.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, she's trying to save the human race. But that, we'll get more into that with the sequel.
Yeah, apart from the fact that the film was a really good time, it's a really good movie.
It's a great movie, yeah.
The mystery is there, the suspense is there, it all works.
Yeah. Star rating, what are you going to give it?
I'm going to give it 4. 4 stars.
I'm giving it 4.5. Easily 4.5.
We get out now, or we die trying. You don't get it. We're already dead. You sure about this? No.
We can't leave. They won't let us.
Thanks for watching, guys. Those are our thoughts on The Maze Runner, the first film in the franchise. Our review on the Scorch Trials will be up shortly, so keep an eye out for that one. We'd love to know what you thought of the film, so please leave a comment below. If you like what you saw, please subscribe, and until next time, we'll see you at the movies.